beautiful, immaculate streams of the Nile that seeps into Egyptian earth instead of divine rain, and melted snow moistens the fields. While he lived, Proteus ruled this land, and he married a maiden of the sea. Psamathe, after she left the bed of Icos, she had 2 children in the house, a son of Theoclymenos and a noble daughter, delight of her mother, named Ida as an infant. When she reached youth, the season of marriage, she was called Theonoe because she knew divine things. And all that happens in the present and the future, she inherited this gift from her ancestor Nereus. My own fatherland is not obscure, Sparta, my father Tyndareus, but there is a tale that Zeus flew to my mother, Leda taking the bird form of a swan, and brought about a deceitful wedding. While fleeing pursuit of an eagle, if this story is true, I was called Helen. I will tell you the troubles I have suffered. For vanity, 3 goddesses came to Paris in the hollows of Mount Ida, Hera, Aphrodite, and the maiden daughter of Zeus, Athena. Their purpose was a final judgment on the beauty of their forms. Aphrodite gave my beauty, if being unlucky is beautiful, in marriage to Paris, and she won. Paris set out from the ox stalls of Ida to arrive at Sparta to carry me off to bed. Hera, angry that she had not beaten the other goddesses, blew up my marriage with Paris, giving not me, but a likeness of me, a breathing phantom created from the starry sky, the son of Priam, and he believed that he held me. The schemes of Zeus only increased my trouble, for he introduced war to the Greek land and the wretched Trojans to relieve Mother Earth of so many turbulent mortals, and to make the mightiest of Greeks known. In this conflict with the Trojans, my name, not myself, was placed before the Greeks as a spear prize. Hermes took me into the folds of the upper air, hiding me in a cloud, for Zeus did not neglect me. He placed me here, in the house of Proteus, judging him to be the most abstinent of men, so I could keep my marriage inviolate. So here I am, while my wretched husband mustered an army to track down the wife who had seized and marched on Troy. Many souls have died for me beside Scamander's stream. I suffered all of this, and I am cursed because I seem to have betrayed my husband and begun a great war for the Greeks. Why then do I still live? I heard this promise from the god Hermes, that I will dwell again on Sparta's renowned plain with my husband. When he learns I did not go to Troy, as long as I do not lay down in another's bed. While Proteus looked upon the light, I was safe from marriage. But since he has been covered by the darkness of the earth, the son of the dead man harasses me into his marriage. Because I still honor my husband from long ago, I lie here at the tomb of Proteus as a suppliant to keep my marriage safe for my husband, so that even though I bear a disgraced name through Greece, my body will incur no shame.
Whose fortified house is this? It could be that of Plutus himself. The wall around is kingly, and the cornices so beautifully detailed. Ah! What's this? see, O gods, I see the most hateful, blood-stained woman. She who destroyed me and all the Achaeans. For being so like Helen, I would kill you with this well-aimed bow if I did not have my feet on foreign soil, as a reward for being so like the daughter of Zeus.
Miserable man, whoever you are, why do you turn away and hate me for whom that woman caused?
I missed the mark. I gave way to my anger. The whole of Greece hates the daughter of Zeus. Pardon me for what I said to you, madam.
Who are you? From where do you come to this land?
I am one of the wretched Achaeans, madam.
It is no wonder then that you hate Helen. But where are you from? What should I call you?
My name is Teucros. My father is Telamon. Salamis, the island I grew up in.
Why do you come to these fields in the Nile?
I'm a fugitive, driven from my own land.
How wretched for you. Who drove you from your fatherland?
Telamon, my own father. Who could be closer to me than that?
Why? There must have been some mishap.
My brother Ajax destroyed me when he died at Troy.
How? Surely your sword did not take his life.
He died by falling on his own sword.
Was he driven mad? Who of sound mind would undergo that?
Do you know of Achilles, son of Peleus?
Yes. He went to court Helen once. So I've heard.
Well, when he died, it set a stripe up over his armour.
But how did that become trouble for Ajax?
When another took it, he wished to be rid of his life.
So you suffer for his misery.
Because I did not die with him.
Then you went too, stranger, to the famous city of Troy.
I was part of that ravaging, and I was destroyed in turn.
So it has been seized and overcome with fire.
Not even a trace of its walls remain.
Oh, reckless Helen! Because of you, the Trojans were destroyed.
And the Greeks too. Many evils were performed.
For how long has the city been utterly ruined?
Nearly 7 cycles of years have turned.
How long did you wait at Troy before that?
Many moons. 10 years passed.
And was the Spartan woman taken?
Menelaus dragged her off by a hair.
Did you see the despicable woman? Or do you say what you've heard?
I saw her, no less than I see you, with my own eyes.
Were you sure it wasn't a phantom of the Greeks?
Let's think of something else, no more of her.
Is Menelaus already home with his wife?
Not in Argos, nor beside Eurotas' stream.
Oh no! You speak evil to those to whom the news is bad.
It is said he disappeared with his wife.
Didn't the Greeks make the crossing as one?
Yes, but a storm divided them, one from another.
Were they on the sea, were they?
They were in the middle of crossing the Aegean.
And since then, no one has seen Menelaus' return.
No one in Greece. They talk of him as if he's dead.
I am undone! And is the daughter of Thestes alive?
You speak of Leda, dead and departed.
I don't suppose Helen's disgrace killed her.
They said so. She fastened a noose around her well-bred neck.
Are the sons of Tyndarus alive or not?
Well, they died and they didn't. There are 2 stories to that.
Which is more reliable? Oh, I am completely ruined.
Some say they have become gods, in the image of the stars.
Well spoken. But what about the other?
That they cut their own throats because of their sister. Breathing the last of their life, but enough of these stories, I need not cry again. The reason I came to this kingly home is that I need to see the prophetess Theonoe. You introduce me so I can get an oracle to tell me where to ready my ship's sail to sail a good course for Cyprus in the sea. Apollo has prophesied I will make my home there and give the place the name of Island Salamis in homage to my father.
The crossing itself will show that, friend. You should leave and flee before the son of Proteus, who rules this land, sees you. He is now absent. With his dogs, distracted with bloody slaughter of beasts, he kills every Greek stranger he lays his hands on. You should not seek to know why, and I will be silent. For how could I help you?
Well spoken, my lady. May the gods repay you in compensation for your goodness. Though you have the same body as Helen, your minds aren't the same. They're very different. May she meet a terrible end and never reach the stream of Eurotas. And may you always be fortunate, my lady.
I lay down a cry of grief, great grief. What wailing could compare? Which muse should I turn to? With these tears, these laments, this mourning. Ah! Winged maidens, virgin daughters of the earth, sirens, come to my cries. Bring the Libyan flute, or pipes, or lyres. For cries of my griefs, tears of passion to match my suffering, misery to my misery. Music matching the lament, so Persephone from her night-filled chambers may receive my blood-stained lament to the dead and cursed.
I happen to be beside dark blue waters, drying a purple cloak on tangled foliage in the light of the golden sun, near young sheep broods. There I've heard a piteous sound, a wild lament, whatever she cried out, as she shrieked, like a wail of a bride, like a mountain naiad, a fugitive from marriage, who through the rocky hollow shouts her three sheepy laments of her marriage with Pan.
Oh, pray of the barbarous or Greek maids, a Greek sailor has come to bring tears to my tears. The destruction of Troy is carried out with blazing fire. I am the reason for so much slaughter. My name is the reason for so much death. Leader has taken death by hanging, out of suffering for my disgrace. My husband, roaming the sea, is lost and dead. Castor and his brother, the twin-born glory of our home, are vanished, and gone from the horse-trampled plain, from the gymnasium to ready Eurotas, where young men exercise.
Oh, my lady, so many griefs have been your God-given fate. You've been dealt a hard life, dealt to you since Zeus, with the white feathers of a swan, appeared from the ether, bringing you forth from your mother. What evils have been absent? What during your life have you not suffered? Your mother is gone. The dear twin sons of Zeus have no good luck. You do not look on the lands of your fathers. A rumor goes through the town's mistress that you are given to a savage's bed. Your husband has left his life in the wave of the sea. He will never again make glad the halls of his fathers or the bronze house of Athena.
Alas, who from Troy, who from Greece, cut the pine with all the tears? For the land of Ilion, there is a son of Priam, built his destructive boat, he sailed with barbarian oar to my house, for my most unfortunate beauty to marry me. With him came treacherous Aphrodite, murderous, She led death to the children of Dennis. Oh, I am suffering for this misfortune. From her golden throne, Hera, in solemn embrace for Zeus, sent the swift-footed son of Maia to me, as I plucked fresh rose petals into the lap of my dress, so I could go to the bronze house of Athena. He carried me up through the ether to this luckless land, to set me up as quarrel, the horrifying quarrel, between the Greeks and the son of Priam. By rumors along the stream of Simios, my name is made worthless.
You have your troubles, I know, but it is best to bear what life gives to us.
Friends, what destiny have I been tried to? Was I truly born to be a monster to mankind? No woman, no Greek, no barbarian births a white eggshell to hatch, like the one they say later birthed me from Zeus. For my life is monstrous, as are all my circumstances, partly because of Hera, but also my beauty is responsible. If only I could be wiped clean, like a painting. They have taken an uglier form than this beautiful one. And the Greeks forget the evil of my fate and kept in mind what was not bad about me, as they now keep what is bad. If someone concentrates on one instant of evil from the gods, it is a heavy burden, yet bearable. But so many calamities press on me. First, though I have done nothing, I am disregarded, and it is greater evil than if it were true to have a stranger's sins attached to you. Then I was removed by the gods from my homeland to this barbaric place, the bereft of loved ones, set down as a slave, I who was once free. For the barbarians are all a slaves except one. The only anchor to hold fast my fate, that my husband would come and deliver me from these evils. Now he is dead. Nothing. My mother is dead, and I am her murderer. I am innocent, though the guilt is mine. My treasure and my houses. My daughter grows old a virgin, without a husband. The twins called the sons of Zeus are no more. I have only my troubles. I am as good as dead, though still alive. Why then do I go on living? What fate is this? Should I choose marriage in exchange for my trouble? Living with a barbarian husband, seated at his rich table. Yet when a woman lives with a spouse bitter to her, she begins to feel bitter toward her body. I have come to the depths of my troubles. For other women, beauty is the source of their good fortune. To me, it is a disaster.
Helen, the one who came, whoever this stranger is, don't assume that everything he said was true.
He said clearly that my husband is dead.
Much that is said clearly is also a lie.
And on the other hand, much is true.
But you speak more of misfortune than of good.
Because fear surrounds me and leads me to horror.
How much goodwill do you have for those that keep the house?
All are friends, except the one who chases me with marriage.
Do you not know what you should do? Leave the sanctuary of the memorial.
Where is this talk going?
Go into
What
the
kind of
house. Learn from she who knows everything, daughter of the sea Nereid the Onaway, if your husband is alive, or if he has left the light. When you have learned for sure, you may have delight or tears for your fate. Why would you begin more grieving before you know where things stand? Do let me persuade you. I am willing to enter the house with you and inquire with you for the lady's prophecies. Women must share work with other women.
Friend, I accept your idea. Go to the house, so you can learn in the palace what trials I shall have.
I'm ready. Don't ask me twice.
Oh, wretched day! What suffering, what fearful words shall I hear?
You are not a prophetess. Don't take on distress, my friend, with weeping.
What misery has my husband suffered? Does he see the light of the sun's chariot, or the paths of the stars, or is he held with the dead under the earth by long-lasting fate?
Create a better future, whatever may come.
I call on you. I swear by you. Eurotas, green with water reeds. If the rumor of my dead husband is true, why can't I understand this? I shall stretch a deadly noose around my neck, or chasing death by a sword. My throat streaming blood, I shall plunge the iron sword deep into my flesh, as a trial of strength and a sacrifice to the trio of the goddesses, and to the son of Priam, who once sat in the caves of Ida, near his cattle stalls.
May evil turn from you. May your fortune become good.
O suffering Troy, destroyed by deeds not done, suffering misery. My gift from Aphrodite brought so much blood, so many tears, and took pain after pain, tears after tears, calamities after calamities. Mothers' sons perished, maiden sisters of the corpses surrendered their hair. Beside the swell of Phrygian commander, Greece cried too, cried, breaking into wailing. A woman thrust their hands into their heads, drenching their soft-skinned cheeks with bloody finger strokes of nails. Oh, blessed virgin, Callisto of Arcada, who left the bed of Zeus on four paws. How much fuller is the life you were dealt than mine, since you exchanged your burden of pain for the form of a shaggy-limbed breast, with violet eyes and a figure like a lioness. And then she was blessed too, she whom Artemis drove from the dance because of her beauty. As a deer with gold horns, the Titan daughter of Merope, yet my body has destroyed the citadel of the Trojans and the Greeks as they fell to their deaths.
Oh, palps! Who competed in the great chariot race with Oenomaus? If only you had left your life among the gods before you had ever fathered my father, Atreus, who in his marriage to Euripides created Agamemnon and me, Menelaus, an illustrious pair. For I estimate, and I don't say this to boast, that I commanded the largest fleet abroad to Troy. Not as a tyrant, leading by violence, but as first officer of the willing young men of Greece. It is not possible to number those no longer living, and those who gladly escaped the sea, who carried back home names of the dead. I, poor wretch, have been wandering the grey swell of the sea ever since I set Troy aflame, longing to reach my fatherland. Yet, the gods believe I am unworthy! So I have sailed to every desolate and unfriendly landing place in Libya. And whenever I am near my homeland, a gust of wind pushes me back. Never has a fair wind filled my sail to take me home. Now I am suffering, shipwrecked, I've lost my friends, driven onto this land. And my ship broke on the rocks into so many pieces of wreckage, only the keel was left of the many fittings. On this, I only just escaped by unexpected chance, with Helen, whom I dragged from Troy. I do not know the name of this land, or of its people, because I was too ashamed to join the crowd. When a highborn man falls into trouble, he falls into misery he is inexperienced in, which is worse than that of a man who has been unfortunate for a long time. Money distresses me. I have no food, no clothes to wrap around my skin. You can see what I have are like rags tossed from the ship. Clothes I had before, my magnificent cloaks, my luxurious wardrobe, the ocean seized it. I have hidden the wife who started my trouble in the corner of a cave. I compelled those friends who survived to guard my marriage bed. I come alone to seek out and take what I friends need. I saw this house, with stone cornices all around, the stately gates of a wealthy man, and I came here. Sailors may hope to get more from opulent homes. Those who have less means cannot give aid even if they wish to. Hey! Could the gatekeeper come out of the house and pass word of my troubles inside?
Who is that at the gate? Go away from this house! And don't stay outside the courtyard gate being an annoyance to my master, or you will die! You were born a Greek. You have no business here.
Old woman, you are right to say these things. I'll go, as you said. But don't be so aggressive.
Go! Go! It was assigned to me, stranger, not to let any Greek near the house.
Come, don't push me. Don't shove me with your hand.
You don't trust me? Well, then you'll be to blame.
But tell your master within the following.
I suspect relaying more your message will bring you bitterness.
I come. As a shipwrecked stranger, this should protect me.
Go to another's house, not this one.
No, I'm coming in. You're gonna have to trust me.
Oh, you are annoying. And soon you will be shoved out.
Where's my famous army?
Oh, well then. Were you well regarded elsewhere? Well, not here.
Just my luck. I don't deserve this indignity.
Oh! Why do you wet your eyes with tears? Where do you expect pity to come from?
From the fortunate circumstances I had before.
Then go away and take your tears to your friends.
What land is this? Whose royal house is this?
This is the house of Proteus, and the land is Egypt.
Egypt! Oh, what a dreadful fate that I sailed here.
Why do you object so to the bright Nile?
I don't object, I pity my own fate.
Many pass through trouble, not just you alone.
Is he home? Him you name king.
This is his tomb. His son rules the land.
Then where is he? Is he inside or away from the house?
He's not inside. And he is very hostile to Greeks.
What reason does he have that I must feel the consequences?
Helen is in the house. The daughter of Zeus.
What? What are you saying? Explain to me again.
The child of Tyndareus. The one from Sparta.
Where did she come from? What could these words mean?
That she came from the land of Sparta.
When? Surely she was not carried from her bed in the cave.
Before the Greeks arrived at Troy, stranger. But come away from this house. Things inside are taking a turn. And this troubles the tyrant's house. You've not come at a good time. If my master catches you, death will be the hospitality you're shown. I am friendly to Greeks. Unlike the hateful words I've spoken to you, out of fear of my master.
What should I think? What should I say? Now I hear of more trouble added to mine own, and just as wretched. If I have led here the wife I seized at Troy, and hid her in a cave, and yet another woman, with the same name as my wife, is dwelling in the palace, and she is called child born of Zeus. Can there be a different man named Zeus on the bank of the Nile? It's only one in heaven. And where is the land of Sparta, except beside the Euripides, with its beautiful reeds? Are there two men called Tyndareus? Could another land share the same name of Sparta? Or Troy? I don't know what to say. It seems likely enough on the wide earth for many to have the same name. For one city to have the name of another city. One woman, the name of another woman. Nothing astonishing in that. And I will not be scared off by a servant. There can be no man so barbaric to the core that he will not give food on hearing my name. The fires of Troy are notorious, as am I, the one who set them. Menelaus! Not unknown throughout the world. I will wait here for the master of the house. Now this gives me double the safeguards. If he is indeed savage, I'll continue to hide. I'll then go to the shipwreck. If he gives sign of being gentle, I shall beg for offerings which meet my present state. And this is the deepest sorrow in my troubles. That I, a king, must ask another ruler for the means to live. But it is necessary. There is a saying, not mine, some wiser man's. No influence is stronger than terrible necessity.
I have heard from the maid prophetess what I wanted to hear when I entered the house, that Menelaus has not been covered in earth, has not gone through Erebus to the place where light is blackness, but yet is wearied fruitlessly upon the swell of the sea, has not yet touched the harbour of his homeland, wandering, suffering a poor life, unwelcomed by friends, coming near to every kind of land, taking the sea by oar from the land of Troy.
Here I am, coming back to my sitting place at the tomb, after learning Cleonoe's dear words. In truth, she knows all things and says he is delivered. She says, my husband is alive and well. He wanders, sailing here and there, countless passages, and is tried by his wandering. He will come here when he reaches the end of his torture. She did not say if he will be safe when he comes. I shied away from asking plainly. I was too pleased when she said he was safe. She said that he is somewhere near this land, shipwrecked, and fallen ashore with few companions. Oh, when will you come? Your arrival is so desired. Hey, who is this? Am I to be lured? At the demand of Proteus's unholy son? Must I race like a coulter of Bacchante to reach the front of the tomb? He seems savage and he's chasing me.
You! Struggling terribly to reach the base of the tomb, where offerings are burnt. Wait, why are you escaping? By showing your form, you have terrified and left me speechless.
Woman! I am being unjustly approached. Barred from the tomb by this man, he wants to catch me and give me to this ruler who chases me from marriage.
I am no thief, nor am I a servant of bad people.
And yet your clothes are ugly enough.
Oh, stop running! Let your fear go.
I'll stay. Since I have reached the tomb.
Who are you? Who is it I see when I look in your face, my lady?
And who are you? You and I have the same question.
I've never seen such a familiar form.
Oh gods, it is indeed godly to recognize beloved ones.
Are you Hellenic or a native woman?
Hellenic, but I wish to know about you too.
You look so similar to Helen.
And you, like Menelaus. I have no words.
You have correctly recognized the most unlucky man!
After all this time, you have come to the arms of your wife.
What, Mike? Don't touch my clothes.
To the one given to you by Tyndarus, my father.
Oh, torch-bearing Hecate, send gracious visions.
You see no nighttime servant of Hector.
And I am certainly not one husband to two wives.
Which other marriage are you master of?
The one I brought from Troy, now hiding in a cave!
You have no other wife, but me.
Could I not be well in my mind? Have my eyes failed?
When you look on me, don't you see your beloved wife?
Your body is the same, but I'm far from certain.
Look, what is more necessary for me to convince to be certain?
You are like her. I won't deny that.
Who can instruct you, if not your eye?
There is a problem that I have another wife!
I did not go to Troy, but my phantom did.
Who constructs things that look like bodies?
Ether. That is where you got your spouse, prepared by the gods.
Formed by which gods? What you say is beyond hope.
Hera. She made a substitute, so Paris could not take me.
Helen, you were here, and in Troy at once.
A name can go many places, but not a body.
Let me go. I came with enough grief.
So you will leave me, and take instead this hollow wife.
And best wishes to you, as you do look like Helen.
I am broken. I found you, and I could not keep my husband.
The magnitude of suffering!
Ah!
Troy persuades me!
Ah!
You don't!
Ah! Was there ever one born more wretched than I? My beloved abandons me, and I shall never arrive in Greece, nor in the land of my fathers.
Menelaus, I've been searching and just found you. I've wandered all over this savage land, sent by the companions you said you left.
What is it? Were you pillaged by these barbarians?
It was astonishing, though that word is inadequate.
Say it. You're coming so eagerly, it implies something strange.
I tell you, you suffered endless toiling for nothing.
You moan over old pain. What news did you bring?
Your wife is gone, raised into the folds of the ether. Invisible, she is hidden in heaven. She left the holy cave where we were keeping her and said, "O long-suffering Trojans, and all you Greeks, it was for me that you were dying on the shore of Scamander by Hera's plotting. You believed Paris had Helen, though he did not. Now I have stayed as long as I have had to and observed fate's course. I go to the heavens that fathered me. This suffering daughter of Tyndarus has heard many nasty things said about her. None of them are true. Oh, hello, daughter of Leda. So you were here. I thought I was telling the astonishing news and you were sent to the depths of the stars. I didn't know you had wings. I won't let you taunt us again. You gave us enough trouble to your husband and his allies at Troy.
So it is the case. The words to be agree with the truth. How longful day. This is given you to take in my arms.
Oh, my most beloved of men, Menelaus. The time was long, but joy is now ours. I gladly have my husband back, my friends. I stretch my loving arms around him. After so many days of burning sunlight.
And I hold you. There's so many stories between us yet. I don't know which to begin with now.
I am overjoyed. My hair stands on end. And I let my tears fall. I throw my arms around you, my husband, to take my delight in you.
Oh, most beloved sight, there is no blame in that. I hold my wife, daughter of Zeus and Leda,
Whom my brothers, those boys riding white horses by candlelight, called Happy, Happy.
yes, before. But the god who robbed you from my house now drives you to another. What a chance than that.
Bad turned good brought us together, my love, after a long time. But it happened nonetheless. May I thrive by this fate.
May you indeed. I join in your prayer. For where there are two, one cannot suffer while the other does not.
Friends, friends, I no longer cry over the suffering that came before. I hold my husband. I hold him. I waited so many years for him to return to Troy.
You hold me as I hold you. I passed through so many days of pain. Now I understand what the goddess was doing.
In my joy, my tears have more comfort than pain.
What can I say? Who among mortals has ever hoped for this?
It is unexpected. I hold you to my chest.
And I, you who seem to go to the city beneath Mount Ida, to Troy's hapless towers. By the gods, how did you get away from my house?
Oh, cruel are the beginnings you return to. Oh, cruel the story you ask for.
Speak. I must hear. All of it to get from the gods.
I loathe a story like this, like the one I tell you now.
Speak anyway. There is sweetness in hearing of distress.
I did not fly by all to the bed of a barbarian youth. I did not flutter with lust for a scandalous marriage.
What god or fate stole you from your homeland?
Zeus's son, my love, Zeus and Maias, brought me to the Nile.
Extraordinary. Who sent you? What a strange story.
I weep and wet my eyes with tears. The wife of Zeus destroyed me.
Hera? Why should she wish misfortune on us?
Oh, I suffered for the baths and springs, where the goddesses came to make their home, their form shrine, and compete with each other.
Hera brought you these troubles because of the competition.
So she could deprive Paris,
How? Tell me.
to whom Aphrodite promised me.
Oh, suffering one.
Suffering, yes, she brought me. Suffering to Egypt.
And gave him the phantom, as I heard from you.
But oh, the suffering of my mother. The suffering under the
What
roof.
are you talking about?
My mother is dead. She strangled herself with a noose out of shame for my degrading marriage.
How awful. Have you heard news of our daughter, Hermione?
Unmarried, childless. She cries over the marriage that is no marriage.
Alice, you sacked my house from the top down.
This destroyed you and countless bronze-armed Greeks. A god has thrown me from my homeland, cursed me to a vile fate, far from the city and far from you. When I left but did not leave our home, our bed, for a disgraced marriage.
If in the future you find good fortune, it will make up for what has come.
Menelaus, let me share in your joy, which I am starting to understand but isn't clear to me yet.
Yes, old man, you should share the story too.
This woman did not cause the toil at Troy.
Not this woman. We were outwitted by gods. And we had in our hands a miserable cloudfall.
What are you saying? We bore all that turmoil for a cloud?
This is Hera's work, and the strife of 3 goddesses.
And is this woman truly your wife?
She is! Trust my word.
Oh, daughter, the god is so complex and inexplicable. But somehow it all turns out well when he twists our lives. You did not bring shame on your father or your twin brothers, nor did you do what everyone has said you did. Now I renew your wedding song once more, and I remember the torches I carried, running alongside the 4 horses, bound together. You're in the chariot as a young bride, leaving your splendid home with this man here. Is it a bad man who does not honour his master by rejoicing with him and sharing his sorrow? I would wish, though, born a servant, to be considered a noble slave with a free mind, if not a free name. That is mighty than to suffer the dual misery, to have a poor mind and to be known as a slave to those around you.
Come on, old man. You who toiled beside me through the many arduous battles. Now that you have shared my success, go to my comrades that I left behind. And tell them how you found circumstances here, and how my fate stands. Tell them to wait on the shore, to look out eagerly for the trial that awaits me. Whether I'm able to steal Helen from this land, tell them to watch for a lucky chance to leave together, and save ourselves from the barbarians if we can.
It will be done, my king, but now I see how cheap and completely false the words of prophets are. There is nothing wise in the flames of burnt offerings, or in the cries of birds. It is stupid to believe bird oracles can help people. Calpus never said or gave any sign to the army that he saw his friends butchered for a cloud. Nor did Olympus. Instead, the city was ravaged for nothing. You might say it was because the god didn't want them to. Then why hear prophecy at all? And let soothsaying be. It was invented as a temptation to get ahead. No idle person ever got rich through burnt offerings. Good judgment and sense is the best prophet.
My views on prophets are the same as the old man's. He who is friends with the gods has the best prophecy for his house.
Very well. Things are fine here. How did you survive since Troy, my suffering love? Though there is nothing to gain in knowing, there is a longing for loved ones to know their beloved struggles.
You ask a lot in one question, about one journey. Why? Should I tell you of the destruction in the Aegean? Norblius watch fires, Riva, the cities of Crete and Lydia that I kept visiting, the lookout of Perseus. I cannot satisfy you with my stories, but in telling them I would suffer my troubles again.
You have said more than I asked for, but say this and leave the rest. How long did you endure, as you wandered in vain over the back of the sea?
I was on the ship after 10 years of Troy. 7 more cycles of years.
Oh no! You have spoken of such a long time. And even though you saved yourself from their poor man, you have come here to butchery.
You say? What do you mean? You ruined me, woman!
Quickly escape! Get away from this land! You will die in the hands of the man who owns this house.
What did I do to deserve this circumstance?
You being here is an unexpected blockage to my marriage.
Someone wishes to marry my wife?
By forcing me with violence.
A private person or a ruler of this country?
The king here, the son of Proteus.
That is what the riddle from the servant meant.
Which barbarian's gate did you stop at?
This one. And I was driven out like some cringing beggar.
You weren't begging for sustenance? That's terrible.
That was the task. I wouldn't call it that.
And then you know everything, apparently, about my marriage.
Yes, I know. Except I don't know if you kept out of his bed.
Know that your marriage has been kept intact.
What could persuade me? I am happy if what you say is true.
Do you see my pitiful seat by the tomb?
I see a poor bed of straw. What is it to you?
That is where I am a suppliant, to keep from his bed.
Was there no altar? Or is this some native custom?
This guarded me, just as a temple of the gods would.
It is not possible to take you home by ship at all.
A sword would certainly be waiting for you, not my bed.
Well then, I would be the most pathetic of mortal men.
Don't be ashamed now. Escape from this place.
Leave you? I destroyed Troy for you!
That is better than my marriage, destroying you.
What you're saying is emasculating, not worthy of Troy.
You can't kill the king, if that's what you're hoping to do.
Or is his body invulnerable to steel?
You'll find out. Wise men do not venture the impossible.
So I should silently hold my hands out to be tied.
We're at a loss. We need a plan.
It is better try than not try.
There is one hope alone that might save us.
Money, courage, or words.
If the tyrant doesn't hear of your arrival.
You won't recognize me. I know that.
He has
So what would you tell me?
Well, he has an accomplice who is equal to the god.
Some prophet seen to deep inside the house?
No, his sister. They call her Theonore.
The name sounds like a prophet. Tell me, what did she do?
She knows everything and will tell her brother that you are here.
Dead then. I can't hide from her.
If we appeal to her, she may be persuaded.
To do what? Where is this going?
To not tell her brother you are here in this land.
If we persuade her, can we get away from here?
With her cooperating easily, we could not in secret.
Then that is your job. Women get on better with other women.
Be sure, I will hug her knee.
Tell me, she does not accept our petition.
You will die, and I, suffering, will be married by force.
Traitor. You're just pretending it's by force.
I swear a sacred oath on your head.
What do you say? That you will die and never change your husband?
By the same sword as you, I will lie beside you.
Well then, take my hand if you agree.
I take it. If you die, I will leave daylight behind.
If I lose you, I will end my life.
How can we die and snatch glory?
On top of the tomb. I will kill you, and then kill myself. First, I will fight a great battle for our marriage. Let anyone keen come near. I will not dishonor the glory I won at Troy. Nor will I be more at fault by returning to Greece. Thanks to me, Thetis has lost Achilles. I am the one who saw the butchered body of Ajax, son of Telamon. I saw Neleus childless. Is my own wife not worth me dying for? I certainly will. And if the gods are wise, they cover the courageous man when he dies by his enemy with a sprinkling of earth from the tomb. They cast the weak from the land, some stark beneath.
O gods, let the descendants of Tantalus come into good fortune and turn from sorrow.
Oh, how I suffer! This is my fate. Menelaus, we are finished. Theonore the prophet is coming out of the house. The house is ringing with open doors. Run! But why bother running? Whether she comes here or not, she knows you have arrived. I am without hope. This is the end. You were saved from Troy. You came from that savage place to fall upon a savage's sword.
You, lead me on bearing the flaming torch so that I may breathe the pure air of heaven, as is the sacred custom. And you, if anyone has damaged my path by walking on it with profane feet, cleanse it with fire, and strike it before me so that I may pass. When you both have given my tribute to the gods, you may put the fire back in the fireplace in the house. Helen, what about my prophecy? What is happening? Menelaus, your husband, is obviously here without his ships or your look-alike. And you still don't know if you are to return home or stay here. There will be a tense meeting of the gods about you today at the throne of Zeus. Hera, who was before full of spite for you, is now friendly towards you and willing to let you return safely home together, so that Greece can learn that the marriage of Paris, the gift from Aphrodite, was a sham. Aphrodite, however, wants to destroy your homecoming, so she is not exposed, and it is not proved that she used the false marriage to Helen to buy her beauty rights. The decision is mine. Whether to do as Aphrodite wishes and tell my brother that you are here, and so destroy you, or to stand with Hera and save your life, concealing you from my sibling. Though he did command me to tell him when you came to this country.
Mistress, I fall as a suppliant to your knees and take the position of an unfortunate one. On my behalf in this land, whom I have only just got back and now I'm about to see him die. I ask you not to tell your brother that my husband, my most beloved, has come here to my arms. Instead, save him. I beg you. Never betray your piety for your brother's sake, to buy benefits that are wicked and unjust. The gods hate violence and commands that everyone get their possessions without stealing. Fortunately, though I suffered for it, Hermes delivered me to your father to keep me safe. For my husband, the man here, who wants to take me back. Would a god, or this dead man, want to give back one who belongs to a man or not? I think they would. Then do not give sway to a frivolous brother over your honourable father, if even though you're a seer who believes in the gods. You corrupt your father's justice to do a favour for your unjust brother. Then it is disgraceful to know everything that gods intend to be or not to be, yet to know not what is right. For my sorry self surrounded by trouble, protect me, be sympathetic as well as just. There are no one alive who do not hate Helen. I am known throughout Greece to have betrayed my husband, to live in these rich houses of Troy. If I go to Greece and return to Sparta, they will understand they were destroyed by the plans of a god, and that I never abandoned my loved ones. I would be returned to my good reputation. I can arrange a marriage for my daughter, who no one will marry now, and leave my brother exiled here, to delight in the richnesses of the home. If this man had died, or was sacrificed on the fire, even though he was far away, I would have shown my love, my tears. Now he is here and safe. Will he be torn away from me? No, my lady, I beg you. Do me this favour and act as your honourable father would. That is the crowning glory for children, to act as their parents would, at least those born to a worthy father.
Your speech makes me sorry for you, since you are sorry. Now I long to hear how Menelaus will argue for his life.
I cannot bear to fall at your need, nor to bring a tear to my eye. If I acted so cowardly, it would bring shame to Troy. They say a man of noble birth in sorry circumstances may shed a tear. I reject that good, if it even is good, to give preference to courage. However, if you will see fit to save a foreigner, trying rightly to take my wife home, you will give her back and save us. And if you don't see it that way, it is not the first time I have known strife, not at all, though you will appear to be a shrew. what I believe is worthy of us, and just, and most likely to tug at your heartstrings. I will say this, falling at the tomb of your father. Old man, you who dwell in this tomb of stone, give her back. I know you are dead, and cannot give her back, but she, whose father I call to below, will not think it worthy of a man who had glory before to hear bad things said about him. She now has the last word. Hades below us, I summon you as my comrade, you who have received so many of those who fell on my sword in the name of my wife. You have your payment. So send them back alive, or compel her to show herself as better and more righteous than her father, and give back my wife. But if you steal my wife, I will say what she has left out of her appeal. I am held to an oath, but you should know it go. First, I will come to fight her brother, and one of us must die. Simple as that. In case he is too weak to stand toe-to-toe and tries to capture us by starving us while we take sanctuary in the tomb, I have decided to kill Helen and thrust my keen-edged sword through my belly on top of the tomb, so streams of blood rush down it. Then we shall lie here, two corpses a row on this polished stone tomb, an undying torment to you and a discredit to your father. Your brother will not marry Helen, nor will anyone else. I will take her home, or if I can't, I will take her to the dead.
I was born to be spiritual, and I wish to honor my true self. I will not stain my father's reputation, nor do a favor to my brother, if doing so will put me to shame. I am filled with divine justice. It is given to me from Nereus, and I intend to keep it, Menelaus. So, since Hera wishes to save you, I will cast my vote with hers. And may Aphrodite show me grace, though she and I have never met. And I intend to remain a virgin. As for your reproaches on my father's tomb, you could say the same to me. It would be unjust if I did not give her back. If he still saw the light of day, he would have given her back to me, and you to her. There is retribution for all men, those up here and those below the earth. When they meet the undying ether, their wisdom does not die. In short, I will stay silent over the entreaty. I will not help my brother in his indiscretion. I am being kind to him if I set him up as righteous rather than godless, even if he doesn't think so. Now you must find a way out. I'll keep out of the way and stay silent. You should begin with the gods. Ask Aphrodite to allow you to sail home, and hope that Hera's intention remains to see you and your husband safe. And you, my dead father, as long as I have strength, I will not be called sacrilegious rather than righteous. No one became successful by being unjust. Through justice, you can hope for safety.
Menelaus, we are safe where the maid is concerned. Now we must share our ideas and draw together a plan to get to safety.
Now listen to me. You've been under this roof long enough. You must know the king's servant as well.
What are you going to say? Hopefully something that will help us both.
If you can persuade the woman child of the four-horse chariot to give us one,
I could do that. But how will we escape? We don't know the plains of this barbarian land.
impossible, just as you say. We could hide in the house and kill the master with our keen-edged sword.
His sister would not support us, nor stay silent. if you are about to kill her brother.
But we have no ship to escape to safety. The sea claimed the one we had.
Listen. If even a woman may say something wise, are you willing to be dead? In word only, while you are still alive?
Bad omen. But if it may give us an advantage, say it. I'm prepared to die in words as long as I'm not dead.
Well then, I will cry for you as a widow, with shorn hair, and I will sing funeral dirges in front of that heathen.
How would this remedy save us? Your plan seems irrelevant.
I will say you died at sea, and ask the tyrant to give you the honor of a funeral in an empty tomb.
And if he allows it, then how will we save ourselves without a ship when you have performed this empty funeral for me?
I will ask for a ship, to send burial adornments down to the arms of the sea.
Well said. Except one thing. If he urges you to set a tomb on dry land, this trick leads to nothing.
I will claim it is not the custom of the Greeks to bury on dry land those who die at sea.
You have said that straight. Then I will sail on the same boat to drop off the burial goods with you.
You must be here. You and the sailors who escaped the shipwreck.
And if I take up the anchor of the ship, they will stand by man, a sword in hand.
You will be judge of all that. Only let the wind guide your sails, and voyage be good.
Let it be so. The gods will end my turmoil. From whom will you say you learned that I died?
From you. You will say that you were the only one to escape the doom of son of Atreus, and that you saw him die.
And the rags around my body support your shipwreck story.
It all comes good, though losing the ship was not a blessing at the time. That misfortune may end in good luck.
Should I enter the house with you, or stay seated quietly by the tomb?
Stay here, so even if he does something wrongful to you, the tomb, along with your sword, will protect you. I shall go to the house and cut my hair, change my bright clothes for black, and make bloody streaks on my face with my nails. This will be a great struggle. I see it going one of two ways. Either I must die if I am caught scheming, or we will reach home safely. O Queen who lies in the bed of Zeus' hero, relieve two pitiable ones of their suffering. We pray, stretching our arms to heaven, where we dwell in tapestry of stars. And you, who procured the beauty prize with my marriage, daughter of Dionoe, Aphrodite, do not finish me off. There was plenty of scandal before, when you did me wrong. When you placed my name, if not my body, in the hands of barbarians. Let me die, if you wish to kill me. But in my homeland, why are you so insatiable for mischief, practicing skills of lust, deceit, inventing tricks, and deadly love charms that bring bloodstain to mankind? If you were moderate, you would be the sweetest of gods to mankind. I won't say otherwise.
You who dwell in your haunts in the shades of trees, whose perch is filled with music, I will call you. Most musical songbird, weeping nightingale, come chirp from your tawny cheeks, join my lament, my song of the suffering of Helen, and the fate of the eternal tears of the women of Troy from Greek spears. When he who sped over the surging sea in a barbarian ship came bringing you, Helen, from your marriage bed in Sparta, inflicting misery on the sons of Priam, that man was Paris, fatally wedded, guided by Aphrodite. Many Greeks ceased breathing when the spears and rocks were thrown. They brought their suffering to Hades, and their sorrow-filled wives cut their hair. Now their houses lie empty of husbands. One Greek, one man who rode alone, killed many more men. When he set Euboea surrounded by sea alight with a fiery flame, hurling them against the Capharean rocks as he lit his deceitful star on the headlands of the Aegean. Then, through shelterless shores, miserable places in a barbarian journey, driven far from home on the blowing of storms, bringing a prize that was no prize, but a cause of strife, Menelaus of the Danaans carried the divine phantom that Hera made on his ships. What is God? What is not God? And what is in the middle? Who among mortals can say after their search, he has found the farthest limit? Who beholds the plans of the gods leaping here, there, and back again to contradictory and unexpected fates? You, Helen, were born daughter of Zeus. Your father, in the form of a winged beast, fathered you in Lena's womb. Yet you were called out as traitor throughout Greece, untrustworthy, outlawed, godless. I cannot understand. What is clear among mortals? I did not find a true word of the gods. Senseless. You who prove your excellence in war, in battles with strong spears, stupidly ending their disputes with death. If bloodthirsty contests to death are to decide their struggles, then there is no end to strife in the cities of men, those men that left only tombs in this land of crime. It is possible to set aside the strife over you, Helen, just using words. But they are in the care of Hades below. Now that a burning flame, burning like the flame of Zeus, fell upon the walls, and you caused calamity after calamity, wretched, miserable adversity.
Greetings, tomb of my father. I buried you here so I could greet you, Proteus, as I go into and out of the door. I, Euripides, your son, address you, father. Now, you servants, take the dogs and hunting traps into the ruler's home. I have often scolded myself that I have not punished wrongdoers with death. Now I learn that a Greek has been seen come into this land secretly passing the lookouts. Some scout or thief hunting for Helen. He will die if I can just get a hold of him. It looks like the whole thing is done. The daughter of King Darius has left her seat on the tomb empty, been carried out of this land. Hey, unbar the guard, the doors, open the stables. Men, bring out the chariots. If it is in my power, I don't mean to let my chosen wife be carried off from this country behind my back. But, oh, I see the woman we are chasing. She's in the house and not escaping. Why have you put on black clothes instead of white? Why have you cut the hair from your noble head? Why are you weeping, wetting your cheeks with tears? Are you crying over a dream of the night? Or has hearing a report from home broken your heart at home?
My lord, for now I call you that name. I am destroyed. Hope is gone. I am a nobody.
What has laid you low? What happened?
Menelaus. How could I say it? My husband is dead!
I can't be glad for the news. It was a good chance for me. How do you know? Did you on the way tell you?
She says so. And the man hasn't had his death.
So someone has come, and his report is true?
Yes, he has. If only he can go where I need him to go.
Who is he? Where is he? I wonder want to understand clearly.
He is there, crouched beside the tomb.
Although, what revolting clothes he has on.
Oh, I believe my husband would have had the same.
Which country is this man from, and where did he come ashore?
He is Greek, from the army who sailed with my husband.
What sort of death did you say Menelaus died?
Sadly, lost to the flowing waves of the sea.
Where in the barbarian seas was he sailing?
He was cast against the harbourless cliffs of Libya.
And how did this man not die if he was on the same ship?
Well, sometimes lower classes have a happier fate than their betters.
Why did he leave the red ship to come here?
Where he should have died horribly. Instead of Menelaus.
But he did die. How did this man get here?
He said some sailors found him and took him abroad.
Where is the poison sent to you instead of shore?
You mean the cloud look-alike? She's gone to eat them.
Priam, land of Troy, all gone to no reason.
And I share in the misery of Priam's children.
Did he leave your husband unburied, or did he cover him up with it?
Unburied, oh how I am suffering! Filled with sorrow!
Is this why you cut the yellow curls of your hair?
He is dear as if he were alive. But he is not here.
It is honest for you to weep for this side chance.
Would it be easy to escape your sister's knowledge?
Not at all. How could anyone? Will you stay dwelling on the tomb?
Yes. I am faithful to my husband. By avoiding you.
Taunt me. How'd you let him die?
I will stop. You may begin plans for my wedding.
Well, it took long enough, but I agree.
Then you know what to do? We must forget the past.
In what way? Let one favour come in exchange for the other.
Let's cut a deal and make friends.
I release my dispute with you. Let it pass as swift as flight.
Now I am on my knees to you, since we are friends.
What are you after, embracing me like a suppliant?
I want to have a funeral for my dead husband.
What do you mean? Are there tombs for the missing? Will you bury a shadow?
It is a tradition in Greece for those who died at sea.
What is done? But children of Pelops are so wise in these things.
To bury empty shrouds.
Bury him with honour wherever you might like to raise a tomb.
That is not how we bury dead sailors.
Then what do you do? I don't keep Greek customs.
We sail out to the harbour to sea with all the dead need.
Then what should I supply for the dead man?
This man knows. I am ignorant, as I have not suffered this before.
Stranger, the message you have brought is appreciated.
Not by me, or the dead man.
How should those who die at sea be buried?
Each one depends on the man's wealth.
Ask what you need for. Money is no object.
Well, first, there is a blood sacrifice to the netherworld.
Of what beast? You tell me, I will take your word for it.
Whatever you think is best. Whatever you give is enough.
Among my people, a horse or a bull is normal.
Only give a gift that is worthy of your birth.
There is no lack of rich herds here.
A covered bed is also carried on, without a body.
Done. What else should be presented?
Brass weapons, since he loved war.
Our gifts will be worthy of the descendants of Pelops.
and as much of the crops as the land can give.
But how? How will you drop all of this into the waves?
There must be a ship, and men to pull the oars.
How far must the ship be from land?
Far enough that the foam from the oars can't be seen from the land.
Why? Why did Greeks observe this custom?
So waves don't carry the pollution back to the shore.
You will have a quick Phoenician ship with oars.
Good. Menelaus would be grateful.
And will you be able to do enough without her?
The task is for a mother, wife or child.
You're telling me that she must bury her husband?
It is a religious custom to give the dead their due.
Then go. It is best for me to encourage my wife's piety. Go into the house and take the adornments for the dead. And I will not send you from my land with empty hands. Since you did a favour to Helen, and what you said to me was so welcome, you shall have clothing to replace your rags, and food, so you may go to your fatherland, since I see you are struggling now. And you, suffering woman, do not consume yourself with endless sorrow. Menelaus has met his fate, cannot make a dead man alive.
This is your task, young woman. You must love the husband who is here, and let go of the one who is gone. It is best for you in these circumstances if I can get safely to Greece. I will put a stop to you being blamed, now that you are the wife of a man who was meant to share your bed.
Let it be so. My husband will have no cause to blame me, since you will be near and you will know it. Come in, poor man, and have a bath. Change your clothes. I will look after you straight away. You will do right by my beloved Menelaus, if you have what you need tonight.
The mountain mother of the gods once ran swiftly through the wooded valleys, across the waters of rivers and the thundering sea slow, yearning for the lost girl whose name we do not speak, her cries pierced through the sounds of Hassinus as the goddess yoked the wild beast to her chariot to find the girl who had been snatched away from the circles of dancing, where she and other maidens danced swift-footed. Beside Artemis with her bow and the fully armed goddess Athena with a gorgon on her shield. Zeus, seeing her from her seat in heaven, decided on a different fate. When the mother gave up her toil of running in all directions searching for her daughter, who had been deceitfully abducted, she passed to snow-clad Mount Ida, where the nymphs keep watch. There, she hurled herself down in grief onto the stone and the snow of the woods. The fields of mankind withered. She would not make their crops fruitful. The whole race of people was laid to waste. She would not provide the flocks fresh food of green curling leaves. Life was leaving the cities. There were no sacrifices to the gods, no meals for the gods burnt on the altars. She stopped the springs from pouring out their bright waters. She was consumed with vengeance for her child. When she had stopped the feast shared between the gods and the race of men, Zeus appeased the vicious rages of the mother goddess, saying, "Go, holy graces, go and change the anger of Demeter and rage for her daughter, and go muses with your songs and dances." Then Aphrodite, the loveliest of the blessed gods, was the first to take up the brass flutes of the underworld and to stretch skin drums. The mother goddess laughed and took in her hands a pipe, taking joy in its noisy song. However, you made unlawful, unholy sacrifices burnt in your chambers. Child, you have brought out the anger of the great mother by not respecting the sacrifices of the goddess. There is great power in the dappled skin clothes of deerskin and the green ivy wound around holy wands, and the bull roarer spinning in circles in the air, hair streaming in Bacchic festivities and all-night revels for the goddess.
went well in the house, my friend, and our ally, the daughter of Proteus, even when questioned, did not tell my brother that my husband is here, but instead said he is dead and underground. She would not say he sees the light of day, and as this is a favour to me, my husband has had good luck and snatched some luxuries, such as the armour he is supposed to drop into the sea. He thrust his noble arm through the loop in his shield and took up his shield in his right hand, as if it was to honour the dead man he is serving. He covered his body with army ready for the fight. He plans to make trophies of many barbarians with his hands, as soon as we board the many-oared ship. I have changed him out of his shipwrecked rags and given him a bath, a long-needed bath with fresh river water, and dressed him in new clothes. But a man is coming out of the house who believes a marriage with me is in his reach. Be silent for me and be on our side. Be strong enough and kind enough to hold your tongue. And if we can save ourselves, we will save you too someday.
Get moving, slaves, as the stranger assigned you your tasks. Take the funeral gifts to the sea. Helen, unless you think my opinion is wrong, trust me. Stay here. You will do the same for your husband if you are present or not. I'm afraid you will be overwhelmed with longing to drop yourself into the sea, driven by the charms of your former husband. He is no longer here, yet still be with you.
My new husband. I must show respect for my first marriage and the bridal love-making we made. I do love my husband enough to die with him. But what grace would it show him if I die when he dies? Let me go and give his corpse a funeral. Then let the gods give you what I want them to. And to this stranger too, since he is helping me with this. Then you will have in me the wife that belongs in your home. Because you were kind to Menelaus and me, this is all coming to a fortunate end. Now, give the command to whoever will give us the ship, so I can take my fill of your favour.
You go. Give them the 50-oared Sidonian ship. Rowers at the ready.
But will this man who is arranging the funeral not leave the ship?
Absolutely. My sailors will listen to him.
Order that, so they will learn without a doubt.
I'll give the order again, and a third time if you like.
I hope you are blessed, and me too for my plans.
Don't cry too much now and mess up your face.
Today, I will show you my gratitude.
There be nothing in this foolish.
As I speak of as something, both here and there.
You shall have a husband no worse than Menelaus.
I find no problem with you. I only need good luck.
That is yours if you show me kindness.
I don't need to be taught how to love my loved ones.
Would you like me to help by sending out the expedition?
No! Don't be a slave to your slaves, my lord.
Then get on with it. I will leave alone the custom with Pelops' descendants. My home is clean. Menelaus did not breathe his last here. Tell my subjects to bring marriage gifts to my home. The whole country must cry out and sing happy wedding songs. My marriage with Helen, so we will be ended. You, stranger, you have gone and given these things into the arms of the sea, the man who was her husband before. Come quickly back to the house with my wife so you can share the marriage feast with me. Then set off for home, or stay here and be wealthy.
O Zeus, called Father and wise God, look upon us and let us turn from misery. Join us as we drag ourselves up the rocky edge of circumstance. If you touch us with your hand, we will be able to come to the good fortune we hoped for. We have had enough distress. We are already weary. I have called on you, gods, to hear my many wretched, useless prayers. I have not earned being miserable forever, but to walk tall on my own feet. Give me this one favor, and I will always be lucky.
Swift ship of Sidon in Phoenicia, whose oars are joy to Nereus, leader of the beautifully dancing dolphins. When the wild on the sea is calm, the gleaming daughter of the sea, Galatea, says, "Let your sails spread before the sea breeze is gone. Take up your pine oars, sailors. Sailors, bring Helen to the harbours of the shore that was home to Perseus. She may find the daughters of Leucippus by the river, or in front of the temple of Athena, joining the dance after such a long time, or the merrymaking of Hyacinth and their night feasts. It was he who Apollo challenged and killed with a stone discus. After that, Zeus, the son of Zeus, ordered that a day of sacrifice be observed in the land of the Spartans. But the pine torches of marriage are not yet lit for the young child that she's left behind. If only we could take flight into the ether, to wherever in Libya the birds fly south in ranks, leaving the winter storms, trusting the piping of their elders to shepherd them, as they fly to fruitful dry lands. He screeches as he flies. Oh, long-necked flying birds racing alongside of the clouds, pass beneath the Pleiades in mid-sky, and Orion, high in the night, herald the message that Menelaus, who has taken the city of Dardanus, will be coming home. Go on your horses' path through the ether, children of Tyndareus, who beneath the swirling bright stars dwell in the sky, saviours of Helen, over the grey swell and the dark roaring waves of the sea, bringing fair blowing breezes to sailors from Zeus. Throw away the poor reputation of your sister. From her barbarian marriage, the punishment she took for the contest at Ida, though she never went to Troy, to the towers built by Apollo.
My lord, you will soon hear of new calamities from me.
What is it?
Start courting another wife. Helen has left this land.
Was she lifted by wings, or did she walk up on foot?
Menelaus took it away by sea. He was the one who came with the news of his own death.
Terrible news. Which ship did he carry her off in? I can't believe your story.
The one you gave the stranger. He took the sailors and left, to explain briefly.
How? That's what I want to know. Who would expect one hand would overthrow all the able sailors you were sent out with?
When the daughter of Zeus left the royal home and set off on the sea, as she gracefully walked, she tricked us by beginning to wail for her dead husband, who was present and not dead. When we came to the shipyard, we launched the Sidonian ship for its first voyage. With 50 oars at the ready, one task came after another. Some brought up the mast, others sat at the oars and took their oars in hand. The white sails were raised and the rudders were set down in their straps. As this work went on, Greeks, men who travelled with Menelaus, were watching. They approached the shore in clothes from a shipwreck. Good-looking men but run down. When he saw they were there, the son of Atreus greeted them in a deceitful show of pity. Suffering men, which Greek ship are you from? How did you get here after smashing your ship? join us in burying the dead son of Atreus, to whom the daughter of Tyndareus is giving a funeral without a body." They cried fake tears and came into the ship, carrying the gifts to throw into the sea to Menelaus. We became suspicious and exchanged words about the crowd of extra passengers. We stayed silent and kept your orders, that the strangers should take charge of the ship. Your orders confused everything. Most things were light, so it was easy to take on board, except the bull. It would not walk straight on the gangplank. It bellowed, rolled its eyes and arched its back, and glowered past its horns to forbid being touched. But the husband of Helen called, "Destroyers of the city of Troy, won't you take the body of this bull on your shoulders, like real Greeks, and throw it over the prow? Then draw your sword and thrust it into the offering to be slaughtered." At this order they came and picked up the bull. And brought it to the ship deck. Then Menelaus alone, stroking the throat and the forehead, persuaded the beast to the prow of the ship. Finally, when everything was taken on board, he filled each step of the ladder. Finally, when everything was taken on board, Helen filled each step of the ladder with her slim ankle feet and took a seat in the middle of the deck. Menelaus, the man we were told was dead, but was there, sat nearby. All others went equally to the left and the right sides. Sitting man to man, they had swords hidden beneath their rags. The waves were filled with our shouts as we heard the boatswain's voice, when we were not far from the land, but not too near it either. The steersman asked, "Should we sail further, stranger, or is this good enough?" "You have command of the ship," he answered. "This is far enough." Then he took his sword in his right hand and strode to the prow of the ship, where the bull stood ready for slaughter. He had no dead man in mind. Instead, as he sliced the throat of the bull, he prayed, "Poseidon, who dwells in the sea, and holy daughters of Nereus, bring me safe to the shore of Nauplia and save my wife from this land." Then blood streamed into the waves, a sign of favour to the foreigner. Someone said, "Deceitful voyage." Someone said, "Deceitful voyage, we should sail back. You ordered it the right way, and you turn the rudder." From where he stood at the slain bull, the son of Atreus shouted to his soldiers, "Why do you hesitate, you bloom of the land of Greece, to kill them? Cut down these savages and throw them from the ship to the sea." Then your boatswain called the opposite to your sailors. "Don't hold back. Pick up a spear, break a bench, or another of you take an oar from its fastening, and bloody the heads of this foreign enemy." Everyone jumped to their feet. Some had bits of timber from the ship, and others had ships in their hand. Others had swords. Bloody slaughter flowed throughout the ship. Then Helen's rallying cry came from the prow. "Where is the glory of Troy? Show these barbarians." Some were falling down in their efforts, some still standing up. Others you would have seen lying down dead. And because Menelaus had weapons, wherever he saw his friends ailing, he would bring his sword, so that your sailors would jump ship. He laid waste to your sailors at the oar. Then walking to the helm, he told the steersman to sail directly to Greece. They lifted the mast and a fair breeze came. They have left this land. I escaped death and dropped myself into the sea near the anchor. As I neared exhaustion, a fisherman picked me up and dropped me on the shore to give you this message. Nothing is useful to mortal men as sound distrust.
I would never admit that Menelaus escaped our notice, my lord, even though he deceived us when he was here.
I've been taken in by womanly wiles. I'm wretched. My marriage is lost. If the ship were easy to catch by chasing, I would work hard to catch the foreigners. As it is, I I will punish the sister who betrayed me. When she didn't tell me Menelaus was in the house, so that she can't cheat any other women with her prophecies.
Oi, where you going, master? Some murder?
Justice compels me. Get out of the way!
No, I'm let go of your clothes. You rushed into a great roar.
Trying to master me slave?
Yeah, because I know what's right.
For me, get out of
I won't allow you.
You don't allow me to kill my evil...
Surely you mean most righteous.
Sister!
A noble betrayal, doing what was just.
I'm giving my life to another.
Give it to the man with the greater right.
Fortune gave it to me.
And necessity took her away.
You have no right to judge me.
Nor do for what I say is better.
I'm overruled. I have no power.
Oh, you have power to do what's right, not what's unjust.
Looks like you love to die.
Or kill me, but I won't let you kill your sister. Dying for your masters is a glory for a noble slave. You'll do it.
Hold back your angry impulse that takes you from the right path, Theoclymenus, king of this land. We, the twin Dioscuri, call upon you, we whom Leda gave birth to along with Helen, who has run from your home. Your anger is for a marriage never destined for you. The daughter of the goddess, who was Nereus' child, your sister Theonoe, did you no wrong. She honours the gods and the justice commanded by your father. It was always meant to be that she dwelled in your home until now. But since Troy was ripped from its foundations and she no longer lends her name to the gods, she must stay tied to her old marriage and go home to live with her husband. Keep your dark sword away from your sister and realize she acts with virtue. We would have saved our sister long before, once Zeus made us gods. But we are weaker than fate, and the gods as well, who thought that all this was best. That is what we have to say to you, and now to my sister I say, sail on with your husband, you will have fair winds. We, your twin brothers, are your saviours, and will ride on the back of the sea along with you to your homeland. And when you reach the end of your life's course, you will be called a goddess, and will share in the gifts that mankind offers us. Zeus wills it so. The shore where Hermes brought you from Sparta, on your journey through the sky, stealing your body so Paris couldn't marry you, the island which stretches to guard Acte, from now on mortals will call it Hellene, because it received you when you were stolen from your home. And Menelaus, the wanderer, is destined by the gods to live on the Isle of the Blessed. The divine do not hate the well-born, but struggles are for the countless multitude.
Children of Leda and Zeus, I will let go of my former dispute about your sister. Let her return home then, if the gods think that is right, and I won't kill my sister. Know you are born of the same blood as the best and most virtuous of sisters, and rejoice in Helen's noble mind, which many women don't have.
The divine takes many forms. Gods achieve many unexpected things. What we imagined didn't come to pass. And the gods found a way for things that we didn't imagine. So ends this story.
Have all the actors out to take a bow, please.
go, go up.